Hello, subscribers. I hope you guys like that intro I made. So tell me what you think about it in the comments. Should I fix anything? Anyways, let's get into the review. What I have here is the Mattel Jurassic World Legacy Collection of 5 mini dinos unpack. Now, I found this at Target while I was trying to find some Wave 3 attack packs, and sadly I didn't find any because I'm really unlucky when it comes to finding new figures. But I actually saw this on the shelf, and it was actually my first time seeing this cool little set on the shelf. So I couldn't help myself, and I picked it up. So like always, let's take a look at the packaging first. So of course you got Jurassic World Legacy Collection logo right there. You got Rexy right there. Then mini dinos with attack action, and basically the whole packaging is based on the first Jurassic Park gate from the first movie, which I really like because you could tell by the doors behind the figures and the torches right there. And then on the back you got all the other all the dinosaurs that come in this set. And the other set, this set right here, well, if you guys haven't noticed already, this set is based off the first Jurassic Park. This is based off The Lost World, and this is based off of Jurassic Park 3. I don't think this set is out yet, but it should be out soon. So that's enough talking about the packaging, and let's get these figures out of the packaging. Now let's start off this review by reviewing probably my 5th favorite figure in the set, which is the Dilophosaurus. Detailing for a minifigure is pretty good, and the proportions seem to be pretty nice as well, excluding the oversized feet. As you can see, the overall figure looks pretty nice, even though the color scheme is very similar to the Attack Pack Dilophosaurus, but the colors on the frill is somewhat identical to the original JP Dilophosaurus. And see, he's got a ball-jointed head and moves 360 very smoothly. And I wish they could have given this figure the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus color scheme, because seeing how they repainted the blind bag Raptors figures for the 2 other sets. But that's just a minor nitpick. Overall, the figure looks nice. And of course, the colors are like an orange for the frill is yellow and orange, and the rest of the body is a teal blue with a darker teal blue on the top, and then of course the yellowish underbelly. So let's compare this Dilophosaurus to the Battle Damage Mini Dilophosaurus and the Attack Pack Dilophosaurus. See, this can make a nice little family here. So that is the Dilophosaurus. Pretty cool figure from the set. So let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have the Triceratops. Now, this figure is based off the Aurorivores Triceratops, and unfortunately, it kind of has the same flaws the Aurorivores Triceratops did. Because, the head is kind of small in proportion to the body. The body is kind of fat, and has a long tail too for a ceratopsian. But an improvement on this minifigure over the Aurorivores is actually in a less boring walking pose, because the Aurorivores is in a boring walking pose. The pose on that's very, like I said, static and boring. But this one, I actually like how this one is in a walking pose. Now the detailing on this is very similar to the Aurorivores Triceratops, on the whole body, the legs, and the head sculpt. And this does resemble the Triceratops from Jurassic Park, because of course, being part of the Legacy Collection. And like the Dilophosaurus, this Triceratops has a ball-jointed head too. You can make him, ramming stuff around stuff. And the colors is mostly just like kind of golden brown right here, and then on top you got a darker brown, and of course beige horns and a black eye right there. So yeah, this is a pretty cool figure right here. So let's compare this to the Battle Damage Mini Triceratops, and of course the Aurorivores Triceratops. See, this is like a mother Triceratops and her 2 hatchlings right here. So that is the Triceratops. It's a pretty cool figure and a better paint job than the green blind bag version. So let's move on to the next figure. Moving on to my 3rd favorite figure in the set, which is, of course, Rexy, the Tyrannosaurus Rex herself. So basically the same thing as the blind bag version. Of course, you got the nice details right here with the oversized feet and an articulated jaw. The paint on the ice does seem to be relatively sloppy. You can see the sculpted eye right there, but then the paint is like, a little bit messed up there. So let's compare this to the blind bag one right here. And you can see the paint job is kind of different. This one's kind of more like a glossier, darker brown. This one is like, not as glossy. And the legs on this one on this Rexy seem to be a little bit warped. This one is, perfect because it came on a plastic base. So yeah, this is a pretty cool T-Rex right here. So yeah, they're basically the same thing. So let's compare this T-Rex to the battle damage mini T-Rex, and I honestly think this is the better mini T-Rex figure because this one has wide hips. But the only thing better about this one has a more movie accurate head sculpt right here, as you can see. But this one's alright. So that is Rexy herself. So let's move on to the next figure. Next up we have is the Ankylosaurus, my second favorite figure in the set. And I have to say this figure is very movie accurate. Even though being a minifigure, the detailing and movie accuracy on this minifigure is really good. So you got all the armor detail and also the little detail on his little club right there. Then all the spikes right there. And then the belly, not much detail, but that's just the belly. See the head sculpt right there? It's very much like the Ankylosaurus from the 2 Jurassic Park movies. So main colors is like a brick red on the top, and then you got a grayish brown, and then a faded beige underbelly. And this one has an articulated tail. It's kind of stiff too. And you could move it this way a little bit, but barely. And by looking at this figure, of course it's based off the Ouroboros Ankylosaurus. Speaking of the Ouroboros Ankylosaurus, that's basically the only thing I compare to this minifigure right here. Because there's no battle damage mini Ankylosaurus. But you can see how similar these two look, which with the only difference being, the color scheme, of course. See, both of these are very movie accurate with impressive detailing. So that is the Ankylosaurus. Pretty cool figure, despite mine's coming with the warped left arm. So I wish I could have double checked that before I bought it, but like I said, this is the Ankylosaurus. Now let's move on to my favorite figure of the whole set. Last but not least, we have the classic Brachiosaurus. Now this minifigure is only exclusive to this set, which means of course you can't find this figure in the blind bags. You have to buy the whole set if you want this Brachiosaurus. And as of now, this is the only Brachiosaurus figure we have in the Mattel Jurassic World toy line. But great news, Mattel is making a giant Brachiosaurus toy for their 2019 lineup. So you see the detailing on this figure, it's pretty good. You got the shoulder blades poking out, the hips poking out, and then all the skin folds and lines across the figure. And got about the same amount of detailing on this side too. See the head sculpt right here. She looks like a pretty happy Brachiosaurus. The eye is just one color, which is black. And the colors on this figure, this seems to be like a purplish gray color going from the back of the head to down here, halfway down the tail. And most of it is just like a very light gray or beige color. And this figure only has 1 point of articulation. And the articulation on here is very smooth. Unlike, because the figure is the harder plastic. The Apatosaurus is more of a rubbery material, so the head doesn't move as smoothly as this Brachiosaurus does. See the Apatosaurus, it moves smoothly, but it's kind of harder to move because of the rubbery material this thing is made of. See how similar these two look. Of course, the Brachiosaurus having the crest and the upright stance and the different paint job. So yeah, these two are very compatible with each other. I'm glad Mattel decided to make minifigures of these two dinosaurs right here. So yeah, that is the Brachiosaurus. Well, there you have it, guys. This is the Mattel Jurassic World Legacy Collection 5 Mini Dinos Pack 1. Overall, I think this is a very nice set. All of these are very great for little minifigures. Of course, my favorites of the set being the Brachiosaurus and the Ankylosaurus. The rest are okay, but these two are definitely the highlights of the set. And I do recommend you picking up this set. It's $15, which I kind of think is overpriced for just 5 minifigures. I think at max this set should only be like $9.99 or even $11.99. So of course, if you want this figure, go to your Target because that's the only place where Legacy collecting figures are sold. So I hope you guys like this video. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.